Today, beginning in Verrazano, Hero's Pose. If this isn't comfortable for you, and you do want the toes pointing straight back and the heels moving up towards the sit bones, then try the block at either height under your sit bones, ankle squeezing the block. Observing the natural rhythm of your breath for a moment. Accepting it as it is, not judging it as good or bad, just letting it be your breath. And then do begin to engage through the glottis at the base of the throat to draw the breath in, filling up the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And exhale, release from the chest, then the ribs, then the belly. Move into tabletop position. Tuck your toes under. On an inhale, deepen the left leg into the ground, but lift that left hip crease up and allow the right leg to float up to the sky, but not the right hip. Lengthen through the side waist, press the arms back. Exhale, draw the navel to the spine. On an inhale, lift up onto those left toes. Lift that left hip up higher. And on an exhale, fold your knee and pull it in. Shoulders stack over the wrists, round the spine. Lift the knee up, lift the heel up. And by the way, if that is all too much for you, you can work with tabletop and lift the leg back and draw the knee in. I'm going to demonstrate through downward facing dog though. So inhale, back to your three-legged dog, and exhale, bring your right knee towards your right elbow. Lift up, press the mat away. Inhale, reach back, and exhale, pull the knee across any amount towards that left elbow. Inhale, right leg back up to the sky. Exhale, plant the right foot. With this, inhale, left leg up to the sky, but not the left hip. So strong back of the left leg here. And exhale, draw a line down the center with your knee. Hug your heel in and up, round the spine. Inhale, lengthen back and lift the leg. Exhale, left knee towards left elbow. Inhale, reach back, and exhale, come across. Knee towards right elbow. And inhale, leg up to the sky. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come forward through plank. Knees can come down if you need that. And come into more of a little cobra. Exhaling, down dog. Inhale, press back, lift up. And exhale, walk your feet up to the top of the mat. Outer edges of the feet parallel, knees pointing straight ahead. Inhale, float up halfway. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise up. Utkatasana, draw the hips back, lower the sit bones down. Extend through the side waist. This, of course, can be Utkatasana as well, or this. If you lift the arms up, make sure you keep the ribs tucking in. Top of the inhale. Lift to the sky. Exhale, hands to your chest, palms together. Maintain
this organization of the pelvis and the feet, and slide that right foot straight back as if it's on a railroad track. Turn your right toes out to the right and stand into your back leg. Reach down through your right heel into the outer edge of your right foot, and from that deepening of the foot, pull the right hip forward. Have the straightest, strongest right leg that you can have here. And pull the left hip back, stay engaged through the core, and inhale, allow the front leg to release. But rather than dumping into it, keep the back leg strong and keep moving the pelvis back in space and down in space. Keep lifting and lengthening through the navel, leaning your heart back any amount. V arms are fine. It's good to have the longest, straightest arms you can have here. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. You are aiming to stack the left knee over the left ankle and to drop that left thigh down to the best of your ability. And then on an exhale, find your Parsvottanasana pyramid pose. So maintaining a long spine, using the blocks if you need them, or maybe even a chair if the blocks are not supporting you enough. Pull your left hip back, your right hip forward. Keep pressing into the right heel, outer edge of the right foot. Spin that inner right thigh back. Fire up the front of the left leg. Extend through the side waist. Draw the navel to the spine. Back of the neck long. And there may be a gentle rounding of the spine here as you explore what is available, listening, not forcing, respecting that left hamstring, honoring the resistance. Keep moving both legs back, maintaining the stability of the pelvis by pulling that right sit bone a little forward, left sit bone a little back. And each exhale, draw the navel to the spine. Keep the chest wide, so whether the hands are on blocks or on the floor, elbows will extend a little bit outwards, inviting that nice open heart. Breathe into the back of the heart as well. Inhale, float up halfway if you're not already there. Grab a block for Parivriti Trikanasana. As you progress in your practice, you can try it without the block, but for today, let's use the block, or again, maybe even a chair. And tent the fingers on the block so that you don't dump into that right wrist. Hug that left hip in. Find the honest rotation of your rib cage here. Drop the right ribs down, left ribs lift up. Stay open through the chest. Make sure you're not jamming through the right waist, right kidneys. Keep them open by pulling that left hip crease back and staying wide across the shoulders. Reaching the left fingertips to the sky if that's available. Otherwise, hand can be on the hip. Exhale, release, and come down. Inhale, rise back up into your Warrior 1. And exhale, palms together at the center of your chest, and step that right foot up to the top of the mat. Slide the left foot straight back, turn the left toes out a little bit, reach into the left heel, strengthen the back leg, even out the hips. Inhale, reach to the sky. Again, a V shape is fine. Keep the core strong. And think about dropping down in space rather than coming forward, but do allow the front leg to release into the lunge. Keep pulling the right hip crease back. Spin the inner left thigh back. Warrior one. Draw the navel to the spine. And exhale. Straighten the front leg. Find your Parsvottanasana. I actually need a slightly more narrow stance here. So always adjust so that you're most stable and most able to open up, whatever that means for you. Pull that right hip back, left hip forward. Spin the inner left thigh back. Fire up the front of the right leg by pressing into the right big toe mound. Extend through the side waist, draw the navel to the spine. Elbows out, shoulders out of the ears. And find the Parsvottanasana or pyramid pose that works best for you. And tenting the fingers on the block so that we lift up out of that block. That will help, again, not to jam the left side waist, the left kidneys. And consider just right hand on the right hip and a very gentle turn to the right. If you're ready, engage through the Mula Bandha, lift up that pelvic floor. That will help with your stability. Reach your right fingertips up to the sky. And again, notice my gaze insofar as it's possible for the neck. Most often, gazing up towards the lifted fingers. Zip up and draw the navel to the spine. And exhale, release down. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands to your chest and step the left foot forward. And turning to face the long edge of your mat. Elbows out, fingers together, palms down, little bend in the knees. Jump or step out if you need to. And turn your left foot out, your right foot in. Square your hips to the long edge of the mat. Square your chest as you reach your fingertips out of the center of your chest. Exhale. Shift the hips back. Again, not collapsing through the left hip crease. Windmill the arms. Gaze up. Press your right hip back. Scoop your left buttock under. Open through that inner left thigh. Deepen into your right heel. Lengthen your tailbone. Lengthen through the side of each waist. And breathe. Again, not dumping into this arm. Feel free to use a block, but lift up out of the block or the hand. Even though the arm reaches down, the hand is more lifting up. Inhale. Rise up. Exhale, spin your feet. Stay on that tightrope. Right foot out, left foot in. And exhale. Lengthen the right side waist out over the right leg. Imagine that you're in one plane, leaning back against an invisible pane of glass. Right buttock scoops under. Arms reach out of your chest. Left hip presses back. Draw the navel to the spine. Deepen into the outer edge of your left foot. Lift up from your right big toe mound into your right hip crease. You might be able to go deeper. Inhale. Up and out. Exhale, release. All 10 toes straight ahead. Inhale, hands on your hips. Lift and spread your chest. Exhale, long spine. Extend through the side waist. Maintain the spaciousness of the collarbones. Find the blocks or the mat.
And just a simple forward fold here. Prasarita Padottanasana. Or if you start to pull through the lower back, then you really want to back off. But if you feel that you can just simply open the lower back, keep the front body spacious, and find that extension through the spine, wideness through the shoulders. In this variation, my hands are lining up with my feet and my elbows are moving straight back behind me. Always hollow the belly on the exhalation. Inhale, get some length through whichever part of the body is lengthening, in this case the legs and the spine. And then exhale, go deeper. And when you go deeper, it may not be physically. It may be mentally or emotionally. Inhale, rise up, halfway. Exhale, if you need to, like me, heel and toe in a bit here, feel free to do that. Bend the knees, hands on hips, and then inhale, rise up. Step your feet together. Pause for a moment in mountain pose. Palms together at your chest. Step back up to the top of the mat. Inhale, lifting up to the sky. Exhale, this time palms together. Trace down that center line of the heart. Feel how your practice has brought you more inward. Inhale, float up halfway. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Find some steadiness and ease here. Lifting up through the front legs, reaching down and back through the back legs. Front body lifted from pubis to chest. Back body releasing into the front body here. And then finding your way to your knees, crossing the ankles and rolling over, or finding some other way to come onto your sit bones, knees to the sky, feet a little wider than hip width apart. Lower yourself down onto your mat for bridge pose. Notice how I used my forearms to help me there. Releasing your head and your neck down, opening up your shoulders for a moment, feeling some space between the shoulder blades. You may have to walk your heels now even a little bit more towards your hips. Make an inquiry here. When you lift your hips up, do you feel that your knees are stacking right over your ankles? If they're out like this, walk them in more. If they're too far in and your knees feel like they're going out over ahead of the ankles, then walk them away. You might have to do a little experiment in the mirror just to see exactly where the placement of your feet should be for bridge pose, Setupandasana. And as you're ready, inhale, press the arms down, fingers reaching towards the toes. Walk your shoulders down towards your feet. One of the few times we do this. They'll come in a little bit as well. Try not to crunch the shoulder blades. And lift up through the hips. Engage the glutes a little bit, but think more about the inner thighs spinning down and at the same time lifting up. They're spinning down to help you lift up. The arms are pressing down. The head and the neck are not involved here. If you like, you can bind by clasping the hands, only if you can keep the arms straight. And again, press into the four corners of your feet. Find those big toe mounds. Let the toes be fairly relaxed. Let the four corners of the feet do the work here. Lengthen your tailbone toward your knees. Draw your chest towards your chin. Don't lose any space in the back body, even though the back of the spine is in a back bend. Keep it long by lifting it, by lengthening the tailbone, by using the strength of the arms and the legs to keep safe and stable. And then maintain your ocean breath. Find your ease. Lift the hips. On an exhale, release the bind. If you were in the bind, walk the shoulders out. Enjoy that space between the shoulder blades and slowly lower down. Upper spine first, then the middle spine, and then the sacrum. So the tendency will be after a back bend to want to come into a deep forward fold. Do not do that. The best thing to do after a back bend is a twist. So exhale, pull the knees in, super glue the legs together, animate the feet, arms out in a giant T, and exhale, both knees over to the right. If your legs can't comfortably come down all the way to the floor, put a blanket or a bolster under your shins. Allow the left shoulder to be heavy. Breathe into the opening of your chest, but also feel the space in the upper spine, through the left lung and the left side body and down into the left hip. If you like, you can bring the right hand to just gently, not forcing, but inviting a little more opening through that left hip. Inhale, come back through center. Try to keep the legs and the feet super glued together. Maybe scooch and wiggle a little bit to get back to center. And exhale over to the other side. Rest here, opening up through the upper spine, across the chest, through the shoulders, into the arms. Perhaps left hand on outer right thigh, inviting the right hip to open a bit more. Then inhale, come back to center. Exhale. Find the alignment of the spine here. Nose pointing at the sky, back of the skull softening into the mat. Feet a little wider apart, inner thighs and knees together. Hands resting on your belly, and breathe. And when you're ready, move into Shavasana and observe at least 10 full cycles of breath there, or rest for 10 minutes.